Hello and welcome. Thank you for clicking on this video titled Love, Laughter and Learning. 10 keys to navigating early marriage challenges together. So I'm going to start with the first key, and that is open communication. No matter the challenges that come your way in your marriage, especially the early times of marriage, because really, whenever people get married, these are two individuals from two different backgrounds. There will be inevitably some kind of friction before you guys fully bond and become a unified unit. And sometimes, even if there is no friction between the two of you, just the dynamic of marriage can put its own challenges on you guys and your relationship. So, the first and most important key is open communication. I always recommend it. Open and honest communication. You cannot achieve unity, oneness, wholeness, understanding of each other, and a beautiful relationship if you guys don't communicate openly and honestly. Talk about how you feel. Talk about your expectations. Talk about your desires. Share. Get to learn each other. Get to know what is in each other's mind. Very important. And that alone is one major key that will help you navigate any challenge. It may not solve the challenge completely, but it will really help you to a large extent navigate any challenges that you encounter in your early days or months or years of marriage. Tip number 2, please have a teamwork mindset. Both of you are in this together. If one person is sinking, it's going to affect the other person. If one person is doing well, it's going to be a blessing to the other person as well. So have that mindset. It's not a competition. You guys are in this together. So you win together, and if there are challenges, you navigate it together. And at the end of the day, you guys become stronger and better together. So have that teamwork mindset. That's the second tip. Now, tip number 3, focus on solving the problem, not apportioning blame. There are many times when issues arise and challenges arise. Some people, their first instinct is to say, I told you this, I told you not to do this, if you had done this better. That's not the approach. Whenever a challenge comes up, focus on addressing the issue. Don't focus on apportioning blame. Because at the end of the day, the challenge is already here. So when you apportion blame, what are you trying to create? You're just going to create more tension in the home. You don't need that. You guys need to now come together. Even if anybody is at fault, it is us. It is the team. It is you and I. So let's come together and let's work out how to get it solved. That's the key. Tip number 4, have respect for each other's views and mindsets. I've seen marriages where one spouse doesn't feel that the other person has anything to offer. Maybe in a particular area, maybe in the career area or business area or whatever. And they kind of rub it in all the time. What do you think you know? I know better than you. I'm older than you. I have this degree. I have that accolade. I have that certification. I know this thing. If you start rubbing it in like that, fine, you may have all the degrees, you may have all the accolades, you may have all the smarts in a particular area. But when you rub it in, what happens is that in other areas where your spouse may be more competent or more knowledgeable, your spouse won't be able to respond positively towards you in that area. Your spouse won't be inclined to contribute in that area because you have rubbed it in that you don't have any respect for their mindset or their ideas in that particular area. Don't do that. Respect the mindsets, respect the values, respect the smarts or the knowledge base of your spouse, even if it's not up there. Respect it. Because like it or not, there are individuals who have grown up through a process and a set of experiences, and there's definitely something that they have to offer in the marriage. That's why you guys got married in the first place. There's something they have to offer. I'm not saying accept, I just said respect. Because some opinions and views may be wrong, but when you respect a person's views, you can correct in love. You don't need to rubbish it. When you rubbish it, it means you don't respect that person's views, and by inference, you don't even respect that person much. But when you say, okay, yeah, you have a nice idea, however, this is a better way to do it, it shows you respect the person's view, but you're now offering a better solution. So respect is different from acceptance. So that's why I said respect your spouse's views, mindsets, and opinions about issues. Tip number 5, practice empathy. Put yourself in the other person's shoes. Try to see the situation from the lens of the other person. It will help you really understand each other well. Empathy is very powerful. Practice it. You will find out that it enriches your understanding of your spouse, and it will also enrich your marriage. Tip number 6, have realistic expectations. Some people marry someone expecting to change something about that person when they get married. But remember, of course, I don't even advocate it, because I believe that somebody has been formed for years, and when you think you're the one that can change that person, you may possibly achieve that, fine, but many times you're not God. So, but peradventure, because change is also perfectly valid and a perfect possibility, it can also be that you have what it takes to change your spouse and make your spouse better, which is good. So when I talk about have realistic expectations, what I'm trying to say is, you may have some things that you want your spouse to be doing, and you've communicated it, and your spouse has actually agreed to be doing those things. Change may not be immediate. So don't expect that that person will change overnight. The person has a particular way of doing things for 30-something years, for 28 years, or whatever the case may be, 40 years, whichever the case may be, and then you want them to change within the first month of marriage. It doesn't always happen that way. So let your expectations be realistic. It will help you to be patient and more tolerant, to follow through the process until the change is the way you guys have agreed it should be. Tip number 7, seek support from an authority figure. It could be a marriage mentor, it could be a pastor, it could be a trusted family member, it could even be a trusted friend. But the point is, let that person be an authority figure that has proven track record of success in their own marriages. There will be times you will need some mentorship advice from someone who has walked the path you're about walking. There are times you will definitely need some guidance from someone who has surmounted the challenges that you guys are facing. So it's a good thing to have some kind of marriage mentor or pastor figure, or someone, authority figure, that can help you navigate the challenges in marriage. So adopt one. It's a good practice. Tip number 8, reflect, review, and keep learning. Changing dynamics, changing times, changing situations, changing pressures, new challenges, they can make certain traits to come out from your spouse that maybe you hadn't seen before. Review, reflect, and keep learning. The more you learn, the better you will be able to cope with other challenges that will come in the future. Now, tip number 9, be flexible to change and adapt where necessary. So whenever any issue or any challenge comes in the home, have the magnanimity of heart to be flexible and change. I want to say something in this regard. If you really love someone, you cannot remain the same person you were as a single person. I'm being honest with you. The moment you get married and you really love someone and you want that marriage to work, something about you will change. You're going to have to be flexible and adapt in order for you to be a better person for your spouse. In order for that marriage to be better than it was, something about you will change. As an independent man or independent woman, you may have your idiosyncrasies, your ideas, and the way you do things. But when you marry, just because of your husband's desires or your wife's desires, I can bet you, if you truly love your husband or your wife and you truly want that marriage to work, something about you will change. And that change is actually for the better of the family, of the marriage, of the relationship, and for the happiness of both you and your spouse. So be flexible to adapt and change where it is necessary. Now, the final tip number 10, which I'm going to give, is set couple goals together. Now, this should ordinarily be one of the first things that you do, even at the dating stage, or if you've not done it while dating, first early times of your marriage, you guys should set couple goals together. There's something it does. It galvanizes your energies and your focus in a particular direction that is team-centric, that is unity-centric, that is togetherness-centric, that is focused on achieving things. It helps to bond you guys. So when challenges come up, when you guys have couple goals, you're going to be checking those challenges within the lens of the goals you guys have for your marriage and for your relationship. And it's also a key that helps in speedier resolution, because you're going to be able to look at those challenges and say, okay, this challenge, is this something we should pay attention to? Does it align with our couple goals, or is it conflicting or antagonistic to our goals as a couple and as a unit, as a marriage institution, as people in a marriage institution, as husband and wife? It helps you quickly filter or prioritize or combine energies to know how to address challenges when they come. So set your couple goals together, and those couple goals can be in different directions. Actually, I did a video on how to set couple goals, and you would do well to look at that video. Just check out for it in this channel and you'll see it. It will be very interesting for you. You're going to learn a whole lot. So these are the 10 tips that I'm giving in this video to help you navigate challenges in the early stages of your marriage. I hope this added some value to you, and if it did, you can leave a like, you can subscribe also, and click on the notification bell so that any other video that comes out, you'll be the first to know. Thank you so much for staying up until this moment. See you again in the next video.